So the meeting is recording, and you just let me know what to do to get in your live.
Do you mind it the title being colorism, dark skin versus light skin?
Yeah, that's fine.
Um,
Or I'm gonna say no. Say light skin as fuck. Do light skin as fuck. That's what I'm gonna say.
Why light? Why?
Because it's clickable. Well, you don't have to name it for your live, but I'm gonna name it that because I think it's clickable. You know,
It is.
light skin as fuck.
So baby, when you ready, hit my line. Tell me what you wanna do. I know you still feeling
Janae, how are you feeling today? Happy Saturday.
Oh, happy Saturday. It's been crazy, okay, to be honest with you. It's been quite the day. It's been interesting, so to say the least.
Yeah. I'm so glad we finally figured this live out. So, how are you doing with with the COVID-19 stuff? I think things are kind of settling down with people. You know what I mean? Like I think people are now used to being in their homes and stuff. What do you think?
Yeah, for sure. I think so. I mean, I love being at home. Like I'm a homebody naturally.
Yeah.
So
I could do either or. I could do the home life and then, I can go out.
oh, they said when it talks has an echo, so turn down the phone volume.
Okay. Mine's down though.
Possibly. I've had a great time being in quarantine to myself. You see this?
Yes. Beautiful bed.
My Cali king size bed. I've been enjoying it. The other night I woke up laying horizontally. I don't know how that happened. I don't know what kind of weird dreams I was having or nightmares or whatever it was, but something was going on and girl, I don't know. I woke up in the middle of the night sideways.
You gotta talk some girl chat. Are you ready?
This is about to get deep.
It's about to get deep. So, a couple of weeks ago, was that last week that you wrote your post about Black as Fuck the show?
Yes, it was last Saturday.
Last Saturday. And so your post got a ton of attention. And it was because, the show Black as Fuck is very like controversial right now. And it's because the title, Black as Fuck, right? People are saying that the title doesn't match the actual characters in the show. That's the whole thing about it. People are saying, oh, it's not black enough because the wife, Rashida Jones, who plays his wife, isn't dark skinned, right? That's pretty much the issue here, right? And go ahead.
So the show, I think people looked at it like, oh, black as fuck, but they're not black. She's not black as fuck. She's like light skin as fuck.
Right.
So like, but the show isn't called dark as fuck. So I just don't know. It's just like, it's black, but that's what's so like causes so much issues because it just really shows the controversy of like not being black enough or what being black is or what it is to the community. And oh, I think there's echoing going on.
Can you turn down your volume on your phone?
Oh my, this is all completely off. Mute your, no, you don't want to mute your computer. Yeah, mute your computer.
How about you? Well, I don't think we can because
I muted my computer.
I wonder if it'll still record though if I mute mine. Let's see. So anyway, so what were you saying? So you're saying that, the show's not called, it's called Black as Fuck and it's based on like his life. What's his name? The producer of the show?
Yeah, I forgot his name, but he was a producer of what's the show
He
called?
produced
It's called
Brownish. He produced Blackish.
Blackish.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So
So
Blackish, and then they did Black as Fuck. So Black as Fuck is a story about his actual life and his actual wife. So that's why I show pictures of his actual wife, and she's extremely light skinned, like very, very like light skinned.
Yeah.
But she's mixed, and she's mixed black. So it's like, you know, that's where we come into this thing of like, this is where it gets deep, because it's like, I think that because there's a obvious, I guess there's an obvious, like, what was it called? Like a preference or a, like, towards lighter skin. You know, we have a privilege.
Yeah, and
the
so
privilege is like you're not black enough because you're privileged.
Right.
So because you're privileged, it's like, oh, well, you're not black enough. So it just like creates this divide.
Yeah, it does. And I think it starts by acknowledging that there is privilege with the lighter skin. You know what I mean? There is, you know. And I know you being biracial, like you, to white people, to white people, you are looked at as black. You know what I mean? Because you're not white.
Right.
But to black people, you're looked at as biracial and you're privileged. You know what I'm saying? Right. So I get it, like, on the level of biracial people and how they feel. But then the other side of it, pertaining to the Black as Fuck situation, I can understand what they're saying, because I think it's not about, okay, she's not black enough. It's about, can you show darker skinned people more often than you do lighter skinned people? I think that's the bigger issue here, because darker skinned women aren't, you know, we're not looked at as like sexy and whatever else, you know what I'm saying? So that's more of the deeper issue, I think it is.
I think, and I feel like that's changed so much.
It is changing. Now. I think it is changing.
Yeah, I feel like that's changed a lot.
Yeah.
You know,
you guys, I have clothes on.
You asked me a question that I really, really enjoyed. Okay, you asked me a question the day we were talking on the phone. I really, really liked it.
Yeah.
What was the question? Ask me the question again. It was about.
What did I ask you?
You felt like light skin. You said, I asked me, did you feel like light skinned women use their light skin?
Oh, I asked you, I said, okay. I said, you know, you hear rappers talk about lighter skinned women, red bones and things like that, uplifting light skinned women, right?
Right.
Do you think light skinned women, how do you think light skinned women feel? Do you think they're just like, oh my God, I'm the shit after hearing things like that? Or what, like, how do you think they feel the ultimate privilege when they hear that?
Well, you know what? I feel like, especially back when we were like high school, you know, though that music came out a lot. I feel like it's changing a little bit just because everybody goes with like the culture. You know, right now the culture is like African, dark skin, like, you know, embrace the natural, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like it's changing a little bit, but I do remember that music, and it's like that music created, because men follow that music. Men follow like the rappers and the cool stuff, and like, you know, whatever's a trophy or whatever makes them seem more like in power or whatever it is. So men chase that. So they definitely chose white women, lighter skinned women, in order to be used as a trophy.
Yeah.
And, you know, that caused a lot of tension between dark skinned and light skinned women, because it was like, now dark skinned women are mad at light skinned women because the men are choosing the light skinned women over the dark skinned women, because they feel like it's like a trophy. It's something to like wave around. And it's definitely like, I feel like the anger should have been towards the men for doing that in the first place.
Yeah.
Then angry at other women for men doing that and for putting them, because it really wasn't our fault. It's really men's fault, because the men are the ones who wrote the music. They're the ones that are rapping this shit. They're the ones that are putting this whole thing out there to like make women be against each other.
Right.
And women always do this thing where, like, you know, a man cheats or whatever, and women fight each other. It's like, go beat up the men. Like, why are we going against each other when, like, this is all conjugated up? Like, you know, fighting each other isn't going to change society.
Right.
What's going to change is men being like recognizing themselves. Like, we need to fight their, like, what they're saying and what they're doing and how they're like, oh, well, I'm stepping out of that. These men think, and then how like women think and then turn on each other, and like that's not cool.
Yeah.
You know, because of what these guys, like how they had decide to value us and like do like a value system, like that's not cool.
So like that brings me to the thing, because when we were discussing this on the phone, you know, you were frustrated because you felt like you're fighting the same battle, right? As a Black woman.
Right.
And some dark-skinned Black women may feel like that's not the case because your lighter skin is privileged by Black men. But in reality, I mean, you're just as Black as a dark-skinned woman, right? Is that what I'm hearing you say?
Well, I can give you a prime example. So I was in college, and this girl had sold my desk. I was moving, and my roommate had sold my desk. And I was pissed off about it. I was like, how can you sell my desk? Like, I was just in the move. I was getting a truck to pick it up and move it. Like, it's been in the house for 2 days. Like, it shouldn't have bothered you like that, you know?
Yeah.
So I called the police on her because I was like, come here before I beat this girl's ass, right? Like, she sold my desk.
Yeah.
It wasn't even her. She went and made money off my shit, sold it. No, come get her. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But of course I answered the phone. I didn't say it like that. I was just like, hi, you know, this girl, like she sold my desk and she stole it from me and sold it. And like, there's going to be problems if you guys don't come,
Yeah.
you know? And they were just like, okay. I remember them saying this. They're like, what ethnicity is she? And I was like, she's Black. And they were like, okay. The police came right away, right?
Mm-hmm.
The police come, they get there, they're looking around, and I go, hi, I was the one who called. And his face, he was like, ugh. And he goes, I don't have time for this.
Are you serious? Wow.
Yes, because they thought I was a white girl on the phone because of my voice. And they looked at me and said, I don't have time for this. You guys need to, like, he was annoyed. So it's like, I have Black woman experiences. So it's like, you know, I don't get that the privilege isn't that much privilege. Like, I understand the privilege. I get it. Like, I get, like, if they're gonna pick a Black person, they're gonna pick me.
That's
Maybe
crazy.
Asian.
Yeah, so on that aspect, on like the white people looking at you as being Black, we know that that's the issue. But remember we were talking about Lil Wayne, like he's known for putting light-skinned women or white women on the map. You know, he doesn't walk around saying, yeah, that dark-skinned baddie or whatever it is. He definitely highlights lighter-skinned women. So there's a lot of rappers that do that. So what do you think about that?
So it's like, it's my privilege with the white people, or is my privilege with dark-skinned men?
Oops. Did I?
Because I want to know, what is it that the beef is over? Because it seems like there's a beef over, like, colorism is based on, like, white people. From what I thought, colorism is based on white people choosing lighter skin over darker skin. But it's like, the colorism is in our own community. It's our Black men saying that white women or light-skinned women are better than dark-skinned women.
Right.
So the problem now is the Black men, these dark-skinned men, because light-skinned men and mixed men will be with dark-skinned women all day. I've seen that so many times.
Yeah.
So it's like, the problem is with dark-skinned men.
Something about that. Not all, because I want to put that out there. Not everybody, but I think it tends to be in the entertainment industry. We'll see this a lot, and I don't know why that is. You know, I'm sure there's a bunch of different reasons, because Hollywood is Holly weird. You know what I mean? But I think since entertainers are held to such a higher regard, when people do see, you know, interracial couples in the entertainment industry, I think they tend to just look at that as a role model type of a thing. And so that's what they go off of, because like a lot of times, and I've talked about this in my, you know, in some of my other videos on my YouTube channel, you know, when blog sites like the Shade Room, they'll post interracial couples, and a lot of, you'll see the black women in the comments, oh, here we go, he's with a white woman, or she's mixed, or whatever. And that anger comes from somewhere. You know what I'm saying? It's not like they're just making it up. You know what I'm saying? Because they don't see darker skinned black women marrying these men. They'll see the lighter skinned women, or they'll see white women. Now, is that us issue? Is that a dark skinned woman issue? Yes, it is. You can't tell somebody how to think or what to do. You know what I mean? All I can say to a dark skinned black woman is, build some confidence and date around. Like, I don't know, broaden your dating opportunities. That's what I would say.
Yeah.
Because sometimes, we are not looked at as the first option. And that's just what it is. You know what I mean?
I can see that. So it's like, it seems as if the issue comes down to dating, because, I talked about my bullying. I talk about my bullying experience, like with, and that's my experience with colorism, is that because I'm light skinned, I was bullied by darker skinned women, and that was through high school and college.
Yeah.
So I talk about that, and I get, like, the comments I get are kind of like, oh my God, shut up, your privilege. Oh my gosh, like, nobody cares. Cry light skin tears. Mixed girl tears are the best when they're salty. Like, all those comments that are very like, whatever, boo-hoo, get over it. Somebody else said to me, well, you had a boyfriend, right, in high school? I was like, yeah. They're like, okay, well, a lot of girls couldn't even get boyfriends. I'm like, okay, so men having a boyfriend validates, like that means that they should be able to bully me? Like, obviously the issue is with men. That's what it comes down to. And it's like the girls are like, oh, I've heard girls say, those a lot of light skin girls have the same exact story I do, them getting bullied by dark skinned women. And they're always like gaslighted or told or silenced or told like, oh my gosh, you're crying, get over it. Like, we have bigger issues. Like, oh well, stop. Like, you're probably making it up, or you probably bullied them first, or you probably said something about them being dark skin. You probably deserved it. Like, there's always those things. And it's like, I've even heard people say, those girls thought they were better than us. And I've heard the light skin girls will say, I never said any of that. Like, I know that a lot of girls will look at light skin girls and go like, oh, she thinks she's cute.
Yeah.
Or like, look at another girl. I've heard a girl look and I'm gonna be like, oh, she thinks she's cute. And it's like, actually, you think she's cute. Yeah. And you're intimidated, and you just made all of this up in your head that she feels this type of way about you. It's just like I end up like putting myself down,
right, to make somebody else feel better. Yeah. And that's totally not okay. That's totally not okay because I have heard that with, like with my lighter skinned friends, like they will say, dark skinned women will bully them. And that's not in any way okay, But yeah, I just think it's all about recognizing the privilege, right? And then trying to move forward with, the Black community as a whole. Like, you're telling your story here on Instagram and, on YouTube. And, we just need to just realize that light skin does not mean that you're exempt from being Black. That's the whole thing about it, right?
Right. And I do like what you said about, I know you had asked me over the phone, we had our personal conversation about, like, well, do you feel like some light-skinned women do put themselves on a pedestal, or they do feel like, oh yeah, I'm light-skinned? And I said, yes, I think that some do. I really feel like there are. I feel like women will use whatever they can to one up the next woman, whether it's, whether it's nice hair, whether it's big lips, whether it's big boobs, whether it's a big butt, whatever it is, women will use whatever they have. And so if it's light skin, if a guy will value that, or like feel like, oh yeah, like these big titties are bigger than a flat chested girl. Okay, well then, yeah, I'm gonna flaunt my big titties. I'm gonna have them hanging out. Like, you think these are cute? You think they're sexy? Like, yeah, girls are gonna do that. So light skin girls are gonna be like, yeah, I'm light skin. Yeah, choose me. Because at the end of the day, what is this, like all a mating fucking call or something? I don't know.
Yeah.
That's what it seems like. It seems like the issue seems like it's over suitors. There's always something, and it's like, it's just the skin color is really, really touchy.
It
I
is.
think it's just
It
like,
is. And I think
it's
if
really touchy.
it is a touchy, very touchy subject, but like I said, you know, dark skinned women cannot tell people how to think or who to choose or whatever, you know what I mean? So for me, I would just like to make sure that I promote self-confidence, make sure that you find things that are beautiful with you as a dark-skinned woman, you know what I mean? Like,
And stop being loyal to men who are not loyal to you.
right,
That's how
that right there. Stop being
that part.
loyal to men who are
Because
not
one
loyal.
thing I have to say about dark skinned women is they are so loyal to
Yeah,
black men.
yeah,
And these black men will put everyone, and it's like there's all this crying about like, oh, I'm so upset. And it's like, well, then do something about it and don't fight the girls. Are you gonna fight all the girls?
right,
You can't do that. You
exactly.
can't fight all the girls. Like, go be with the men, because you always see when a dark skinned woman goes and gets with that white boy, those black men are pissed, livid.
Yeah,
They don't like it. They're pissed.
right.
Pissed. They're like, wait, no, you're our women. Oh, now that you're women? Really? When you're willing to choose everyone else
Yeah.
over them, now they're your women.
Yeah.
Like that.
And you know what? People will say, it's not really a thing. Light skin, dark skin, it's not a thing. It definitely is a thing. And I think once we acknowledge it and we keep talking about it, I think we can change it. But, I mean.
But also what I've seen is, like, I've also seen where women will do the whole, like, I don't feel like too many light-skinned women have really gone and been like, yeah, I'm better than a dark-skinned woman. Like, I haven't seen that.
Yeah.
But I do see a lot of posts about, like, light-skinned women aren't even cute. Or like light-skinned women, like they're not even cute. I don't know why y'all like them. Like, you boost them, they're not even cute.
Posts like that?
I have seen so many posts where like dark-skinned women will completely bash light-skinned women.
Oh, you don't need to be friends with those people then.
It's acceptable. Like, it just feels like it's so open when it's like, you don't want that done to you. So like, why are you doing something that you didn't want? And now it's like, okay, so you really are just mad that, like, it's like a guy's having a preference, or he's like choosing another woman. Like, you really do want to be everybody just wants to be the one on top. I do feel like sometimes there's an overcompensation whenever, like, it's like now natural hair and darker skin is being uplifted and embraced and in mainstream, and it's beautiful. Like, really dark complexions are being like valued and honored, I feel like, a lot more than before.
Right.
And I feel like because of that, now it's like I've just seen some comments. Facebook is very open with the comments. So I see them where it's like, yeah, that's so much better than the lighter. Oh, dark skin, it's just so much better. And it's like, I thought you didn't like, I didn't thought that wasn't good to be done.
Right.
Right.
No, I get you. Yeah.
Oh, someone just said, I agree with her, but the fight is so much that we've had to validate ourselves by invalidating another. And I apologize that. But I appreciate the apology, and I appreciate the acknowledgement, because all it comes down to is acknowledgement of like what's going on out here and what we're doing. Because I have to say, I've never felt like I was better than anyone. Like, it always upsets me when I hear people say like, oh, she thinks she's better, or she thinks she's cute, or she thinks she's this and that. And it's like, well, first of all, we should all think we're cute.
Yeah.
I really had to come to that understanding of like, we do need to all think we're cute. I feel like it hurts a lot to kind of be minimized, because I understand I get it. Like, if I always felt so bad, I guess it was my empathy. I felt so bad that was happening. I heard the songs. It made me feel like shit when I heard Lil Wayne say, I got a yellow bone, I got a red bone on my arm. That made me feel like shit. I hated hearing that, because I knew what he was doing. I knew he was putting light-skinned or red-bone women on a pedestal over a dark-skinned woman. I knew he wasn't putting us over white women. I knew that was a direct shot at dark-skinned women, and that made me feel like shit. So then I'm feeling like shit, and I'm minimizing myself, and I'm being bullied, and I'm and then I grow up and I'm being told, well, get over it, like, at least you're privileged. And I'm like, privileged where? What? Like, okay, so these men want to put me on a pedestal, that's my privilege? Apparently
Yeah.
Apparently, that's my privilege, but at what cost? You know?
Yeah, see, I didn't experience any of that. Like, I'll say when I was in high school or even elementary school, I really didn't see color. And I think, like I told you, like I grew up with a mom. My mom was like really dark skinned, super dark skinned, but I grew up with a very confident mom, you know, like, and she taught me to love everybody. And so I never had any of those problems. But when I moved to Atlanta in my early 20s, that's when I did see, you know, okay, this light skin versus dark skin is a thing. Because what I used to get all the time is, you're beautiful for a dark skin girl. Because I was a lot darker skin, you know, back then. And yeah, and I don't know, I would get all sorts of comments from Black men specifically. Like they would just say, you know, yeah, you're so pretty for a dark skin girl. That dark skin girl tag would always be attached to me being pretty. And I was just like, okay. But I mean, that never fazed me because I've always had, you know, my own self-confidence. Like I've dated some very nice Black men. You know what I mean? So I would never,
Right.
I can't ever say that it's like all Black men, or I'm not going to generalize, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, the reason why I wanted to talk about this with you is because, you know, it's a thing, and I wanted to, you know, make sure we presented it. And we want to make sure that we tell your story, right? Because, you know, especially you writing that post you wrote about Black as fuck. What was it again? Do you remember what you said?
I just remember I said,
You were like,
because people are so mad about her being light skinned. I was like, well, I posted a picture of his actual wife, and I was like, this is actually really great casting because his wife is a mixed woman and she's very light skinned.
yeah,
And they have a Black as fuck experience as a Black family.
right, as a
together.
Black family.
Mixed
Yeah.
Black, she's a Black family. The show's called Black as fuck, not dark as fuck.
Right.
So it's like we shouldn't be going off of color, and it's
Right.
like, you know, I feel like
experiences, just like you said with a lot of your experiences that you explained here, that's
right.
what it's really based on, not skin color.
Right. It's literally based on the experience of a Black experience. And it's like, as mixed people, we have Black experiences. Like,
Right.
you know, we're not white. We're not the other. We are definitely Black and something. You know, it's always like that. It's like, you're Black and what? You're Black and what? You know, I get that a lot. So it's like, it's just, you know, white people are like, yeah, you're Black. And I'll be like, I'll have to like throw in there like, I'm mixed, just in case you see my mom. Like,
Yeah,
you know?
and you know what? That too, because I don't think you should downgrade your other side. Like your mom is white and your dad is Black. And
right.
You know, you're mixed. I mean, that's what it is. And you shouldn't hide that. You know what I mean? Like
Right. And I felt like that. I felt like that too. I felt like I had to choose sides, and I really hated that I had to choose sides.
Yeah.
But then I was like, fuck it. Like, I'll, you know, and then I felt, okay. So I felt like I was really upset that I had to choose sides. And then I felt like, you know what? If people want to consider me Black, if society, if white people want to consider me Black, then I'm going to embrace it because I'm not mad about it. That doesn't piss me off. Like,
right.
I feel like being Black is a compliment.
Yeah.
So it's like, I'm not, so it was that idea that like, I had to kind of struggle with that myself of like feeling like the family who raised me, I feel like I was going against, like, you know, I just ignored them. But then at the same time, I was like, am I mad that they're saying I'm Black? No.
Yeah.
You know, like, fine, I'll embrace it. I'm part of the Black community. That's fine. And then I get in the Black community and they're like, but you're not Black enough. And it's like, well, damn it. You know? And then Raven, and then I think it was Raven Simone went on and was like, I'm mixed, or she said something. People got pissed off at her, and they were like super mad. And it's like, well, damn. Okay.
Then what?
Is it this Joe D. Bell said, what if white wanted to consider you white? I mean,
you are white though. You're both.
I'm both.
You're both. It's like, what side do you choose?
But I know what they're saying is white people have a very kind of strict like white skin. You know what's crazy?
What?
My sister is my sister's white skinned. That's what I call it. I say I'm light skinned. My sister's white skinned.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she's white.
Yeah.
When she get pulled over, like when I get pulled over, it says Black. That's what it says.
Yeah.
On my thing.
Yeah.
Or like the police put it in, they put Black. They put white for her.
Wow.
So my sister, she's considered white because she's white skinned.
Is your sister mixed?
Yeah, we have the same mom and dad.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really weird. I turned out like with pigment, and she turned out like light white skin.
Wow.
And so we just have like, yeah, it's so different.
Oh my gosh.
It's so different. And so when she gets pulled over, it says white on hers and it says black on mine.
Wow.
So that's also an interesting thing.
It's all society, man. You know, people have to stop allowing society to brainwash us all, you know? I mean, it is what it is at this point. But I think I'm going to end it here, Janae, because I need to go eat something. I haven't eaten anything.
I'm sorry. Well, wait. Well, we have one
you
question.
Have a comment?
Someone
asked, I can't see any of the comments.
Someone asked if we feel like we're fetish sized in media. I mean, I definitely feel that's the case, especially with like hip hop industry. You know,
yeah,
they've definitely like took the black stripper girl. You know what I mean? Like with the fake butt and the big boobs and the, you know.
Yeah.
And now like everybody's trying to look like the black stripper girl with the fake butt and the big boobs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I definitely.
But I think a confident woman is going to look like herself. You know what I'm saying? You and I are confident. And, you know, I don't think that, I just think that every woman should have self-confidence and know that they're beautiful in their own way.
So do I get to go back and forth being black and white? No, I don't ever get to pretend like I'm white in any circumstance, in any situation. My sister might get to, actually.
Really? Because she's the lighter skin.
Just in the idea of like her thing saying white, it blew my mind when I saw that her ticket said white.
Yeah.
Blew my mind. I was like, I get black every time. I never pass for white. And I'm just like, wow. So I think.
Yeah, because your skin is tanned.
My skin is tanned.
So to the white people, you know, you are black. That's just what it is.
Black.
That's what society says.
Like, no, you are dark. Because I do, and I tan easy. Like I've been hibernating, so I'm like light skin AF right now. Hibernating in the quarantine.
Do we have any more comments? Any more questions in the comments?
We have any more questions? Yeah, this Chocolate Princess says once you have an ethnic physical appearance, white people label you as black.
Oh yeah.
That's super true.
Yeah.
Let's see. So, it said you not seeing color, unfortunately. Well, you know how they say like how white people be like, I don't see color, and like black people don't like to hear that. That's like not something people like to. They don't.
Well,
like to
I think I'm not gonna lie. I will say that too, just because my heart is so big and I love everyone, and that's just how I grew up. Like my mom, and like I said, my mom is dark skinned, like real dark skin, and she never like. There was never any conversations about light skin, dark skin, white people. You know what I'm saying? Like there was never any hate in our house.
Right.
And so, yeah, I mean, I see people as just people. You know what I mean? But I'm not so much in a bubble that I don't, understand that racism definitely exists. Colorism definitely exists. People, if a white person and a black person goes for a job, there's a possibility that white person will get the job over the black person. Like those kinds of things I'm not oblivious to. Like, I think that's why a lot of black people don't like to hear that, because they know damn well that in the real world, if a white person and a black person is faced up against each other, or a lighter skinned person versus a darker skinned person is up against each other, we both know who's going to get chosen. 9 times out of 10.
I'm about to say, I hope they're not just choosing off the skin tone.
Well, it's a real thing, Janae. It's a real thing. And I think it's gotten a lot better, though.
I think so.
You know what I'm saying? It's gotten better. But, I mean, and we've come a long way. But that definitely does exist.
I can see, I feel like it's going to tip, like with like, because everything is a balance. So, there's a scale of like light skin, Yeah. And I feel like the scale is going to tip, like what's like, because I'm already getting it. Like I already get the whole, like, light skin isn't in anymore, or like, stuff like that. oh, light skin is even that cute, or it's not even like dark skinned women definitely look better. And there's always this competition. I feel like men always put us in competition with each other. That's why I blame those fuckers, because I feel like they're the reason that we have that like there's this beef. Like I feel like the men are always the reason. You know, every time I've been bullied, it was because of some man
guy,
that some woman liked that I didn't even want.
Right.
Every single time.
Yeah.
It was because of some guy. And you know what? Maybe we need to look at ourselves and realize, like, why are we fighting each other?
Right.
When you're mad at a guy who's deciding to like choose someone over you, like go
For me,
be
you
with
know, I love everybody. I love all men, any skin color. I don't have a type. As long as you treat me right, then we're good.
Girl, Joe said don't blame it on men. Listen, I'm blaming it on men. Who else is there to blame it on? The only other person there's to blame it on is on women themselves. I understand we need to take responsibility. I do feel like when it comes to this case that dark skinned women need to take responsibility for getting mad at light skinned black men putting light skinned women on a pedestal.
Yeah.
Because I feel like it wasn't our fault. I feel like dark skinned women should be mad at their dark skinned men for doing that in the first place. They should be mad at Lil Wayne. They should be mad at the media. Be
Chris
mad at these men who are following.
There was a
the
rapper,
media.
I don't know, remember we talked about the rapper, he's not a real rapper. It was like a battle rap that went viral, right? And this dude started like going off on the dude's kid, the 6-year-old kid, just because the kid was dark.
I couldn't even watch it.
It was such a sick video. I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about, but Google it. It's a battle rap that went viral. This dark-skinned dude is like rapping about his opponent's 6-year-old daughter because she's dark-skinned. It was the stupidest.
And the guys were the same color. The guys were the same skin color.
Yeah.
And one guy.
And he decided that's what he decided to battle rap on. This guy.
Yeah, he was like, my daughter's light skin, your daughter's dark skin, and basically said my daughter's better than yours because she's light skinned. And see, that's why I say
that's exactly what he said. And the entire battle rap was about that.
Right. So it's like, what are they gonna do? Like, what are the girls gonna like fight against each other? No. That man needs his ass beat. Like that's just what it comes down to. Like you don't say stuff like that. So that's where I have an issue. What's Joe saying? He wants to drop knowledge. Hold on. He said it's the men with power that do that. Women are already competing with each other. That's true. Women are already competing with each other. That's why I said women will always use what they have over the next woman. You know, always, whether it's a bigger butt, whether it's bigger boobs, whether it's whatever woman can use over the next woman, that longer hair, like she's gonna use that. Like women are always in competition with each other. So to kind of add color on that is like, geez, we just don't need to be in competition with each other like that, because what's the prize? What is the prize here? A man? Like, are we that desperate, ladies? Like, are we that? Yes, actually, yes, I can answer that. I know these.
There's a lot of women that are desperate,
and it's like,
and you don't need to be friends with those women.
What was it?
You know,
that was.
But Janae, I gotta get my ass off of this live, girl. I need to go eat something.
I'll hold you on here all night, yeah, girl. You better go.
But it's a passionate topic, you know. It's a passionate topic, and it needed to be talked about.
There's probably gonna be a part 2 because I know people are gonna say stuff in the comments when you actually go and post it. So I'm already like, they're gonna be like, girl, you didn't say this and you didn't say that, and what about this? And they're gonna be mad at you because you didn't come with it enough, I guess. So somebody gonna be mad at me, somebody gonna be mad at you, they're gonna say something. Who knows? Like, I'm ready for it though.
Well, just know that I love you. I love you. I'm glad that we had this conversation. And
you know, I love
we're probably gonna have to do a part 2 because this is deep. You know, this is a deep conversation.
It goes deep.
But I will see you in the next video. I'll call you after this.
Yeah, we'll talk.
Bye, baby.
Hi guys, don't forget to click that subscribe button. It lets me know you're enjoying the content I'm creating for you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.